Pre-checks are very important. Sadly, I had to attend a former colleague's funeral recently. Spent many hours afterwards reminiscing with other former colleagues, laughing about the shit we used to get up to. One of the tales that came up was the following: after a minor incident at another site, OHS brought in a new policy requiring all staff who were going to use equipment to sign off that they had checked it. Naturally, everyone was very hesitant, as there were no guidelines about what checks needed to be done on any given piece of equipment. So, the new policy was postponed while OHS composed suitable checklists, i.e. Googled for one somebody else had already written. The new checklists were presented to the staff halfway through a Friday shift, and the new policy would be starting the next week, Sunday. Enter yours truly, fresh back from a month off. My supervisor updated me on recent developments, including the new pre-check policy, and presented me with the relevant checklist. 1 page, 35 items to check before starting work. Okay, now, if I'm going to sign a piece of paper that says I've checked something and determined it to be in good order, you'd better believe I'm going to actually check it. Every bolt, and every inch of every hydraulic hose. I'd previously worked as a hydraulic tech, so I actually knew what to look for. The first forklift failed after 25 minutes of checking. Hose clamp was missing, not that it was really needed. Loto applied, grab another forklift and let's start again. Failed on item number 2, front park light wasn't working. Finally, after 90 minutes, and with 4 forklifts faulted, we have a winner. I'd love to say the whole building had ground to a halt while waiting for me to finish my pre-start checks, but it hadn't quite. But it did require the shift manager to leave his office and put in some frantic work to catch up. Monday, somehow word of my efforts had spread through the staff, I can't imagine how, and everybody was suitably diligent in checking their forklifts over before starting work. Several were faulted, and one area did have to stop work until there was a forklift available. The supervisor was running around asking us when we'd start work, which received variations on the theme of, "When I've finished checking this forklift over," along with a few repeats of those crappy safety slogans management say to sound good but don't really mean. There's always time for safety. Safety is no accident. Safety starts with me. Etc. Tuesday, much the same shenanigans, but this time several areas had to stop work while we completed our pre-start checks. Managers came out of their offices. Shop stewards were summoned. Discussions were had. Wednesday, our shift started with the announcement that the rollout of the new pre-check regime had been paused, while a few teething issues were sorted out. Somehow management forgot to ever unpause that rollout,